is happening right now? I feel like I'm in a fever dream, but like it's kind of cool. She really gets to see the complexities of even just relationships in general. I mean, I guess you're getting told a story in a nonfiction too. Whatever, you don't care. Millions and millions of dollars from my family. So you down with that? Coming with me? Or hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Izzy if you are new. Hi. I thought it would be fun this week. We could sit down, do a little chit chat, talk about some book recs. I've been in a book slump for the last couple of weeks. I was thinking to myself, how do I like to get out of a reading slump? I feel like there's just so many good book releases right now. That's why I feel so invigorated with reading again. But if there's no new releases you're excited about, like what do you do to get back into reading? I thought it would be fun to sit down and talk about the books that I've read, where I have read them either super fast or books that genuinely got me back into reading when I was in a book slump. That being said, let's get started. The first book I have is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. This is kind of a coming of age story. We're following our main character, Mary Jane. She is babysitting for this family for the summer. Her family and their family are very different, and she kind of gets exposed to a lot of a different family dynamic and gets exposed to how other people interact with each other. I love this book. You follow Mary Jane. She's so endearing. Obviously, she's babysitting, so you get to follow the little girl she babysits and the family, and then there's like some family friends from that family that also get introduced, and she gets exposed to them. It's a wild ride. She really gets to see the complexities of even just relationships in general. I love this book. I honestly want to reread it, but I do remember this book, I read it in like a day or two in like the worst reading slump. I think it was like 2 or 3 months, and then finally I picked her up and I just flew through it. It's very summer coded. If you love character driven stories, you would love this. I think it's really fun. It's based in like the 1970s. Hold on, my eye's itchy. It's also based in like the 1970s. It's a little bit of a historical fiction as well. And I don't know, there's just something about this that is so fun. Next book I have is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is a Regency Bridgerton coded book. We're following our main character who literally has half a soul. In her world, a fairy stole her other half. She goes to London, she meets this guy who's kind of like a magician. They go out and try to find the other half to her soul. If you love Bridgerton, Regency, what's another good one? Jane Austen-esque story, you would probably really like this. It's like a cozy fantasy, so there's some fantasy elements to it, but they're not super extreme. I love it. I feel like this really does remind me of like that, like Sherlock Holmes-y vibes even. I love our main character. She's a little different. She doesn't even feel some of the emotions she has because half of her soul's been missing. So it's just really interesting to like see her interact with people and how she interacts, just even with herself, and like how she feels different and stuff. It's also a trilogy. This couple and then 10,000 Stitches is with a different couple, which I also really loved. And then the third one I think is about their daughter. This one is so fast paced. Her trying to find her other half of her soul, I feel like really kept me intrigued and going, and also the romance is so sweet. It's so cute. It's also quite short, but I really do love this. It's really fun. If you love a cozy fantasy, I think you would really enjoy this. Next I have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is the first book in a series that she's going to be doing. This is about our main character who in college, she does this folklore class. It's kind of like folklore tales about LA. She gets so invested into it and she thinks that all of these folklore tales are real. She goes out and she's trying to seek the Watchman, which is a tale that she has learned in her class. And the Watchman, if you ask him what time it is, you can see when you will die. She actually finds him. The Watchman tells her that she's going to die in 48 hours unless she can find the alchemical heart, which the alchemical heart is basically non-existent. It's not a real thing, or it's presumed to be not even real. It's just like a little fairy tale that's been going around. Such an interesting story. I do think our main character is a bit ditzy. I think that's the best way I can explain her. I did love her. Like, she feels very precious. She just believes all these things. She believes these fairy tales. She loves whimsy. She feels very naive at points, but I did love her. This book was so good. I ate it up in like a couple of days, and it's definitely one of those stories where you just are kind of like, what is going on? Like, what is supposed to be happening? And everything does get explained sort of. It's really fun because you read it and you're like, what is happening right now? I feel like I'm in a fever dream, but like it's kind of cool. It is a series, so there are going to be more. I do think the world, I hope it gets explored a little bit more in the other books, because in this one it feels a little confusing. It is pretty cool and I really like it. The next book I have is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is about a group of kids who are selected by the FBI to join this, what's it called? Task force almost, which it's called The Naturals. They all have an ability of some sort to help solve cold cases. They kind of start to get entangled up with some active cases. I genuinely love it so much. It's fast paced, it's very interesting. You really love to like bond with the characters. Even though it's YA, I didn't feel like it was too YA, if that makes sense. It's just such a cool like concept of like these kids being in the FBI. If you like Criminal Minds, you probably would like this, except it's revolving around teenagers. Every book, I feel like the twist is so good, and I felt like the story in of itself is so interesting. I think she's coming up with more books in the series now, but this book really did get me out of a slump. The first one specifically, I was in such a bad reading slump. I was reading a different book and I could not get into it, and then I read this one in like a day. I didn't know what was gonna happen in these, but I also can't call anything to save my life, but I thought it was really cool. The next book I have is Recursion by Blake Crouch, revolving around two main characters. One of them is a police officer who kind of gets approached with this idea to send him back to a certain time period of his life to see if he can fix something that's happened. And then the other one is about this woman who is creating a device to help solve FMS, which is called false memory syndrome. People are having these memories that seem very real, but they're not. Creating something to kind of help figure that out. If you would have told me I was obsessed with this book, I would not have believed you. It is so cool. It is such a cool concept. I always do love a multiverse kind of vibe where you're like, the decisions I made then, would they affect me now? And like, what if this happened if I still did this? It's very interesting. It makes me spiral a little bit, but it's really cool in my opinion. I listened to the audiobook to this, but this audiobook was just so fantastic. I also would recommend, if you're really in a reading slump, try an audiobook, see if that helps, because this book was phenomenal and I really want to reread it again. Bits and pieces I think you could like in this. Like, it's a sci-fi, but there's a thrilling parts to it, but there's a little bit of a romance. There's so many things that I think you can love in this book, and it's just a little bit genre bending, and it's just so good. The next book I have is a memoir. I'm gonna recommend Educated by Tara Westover. We're following our main character who, she grew up in a family where they just were kind of off the grid, sort of. They didn't really believe in like modern medicine, modern technology, education in any way besides like the Bible. It's just very interesting to see someone's like real experience in growing up, because it feels fake, but it was real and she like went through those things. I also listened to this on audiobook, but I think it is so interesting to dive into. Her choices that she decided to do to have an education necessarily didn't help her family dynamic. Also, the toxicity of her family, just crazy to read about as well. If you feel like all you've been reading is very like the same books, I would highly suggest getting out of the genre that you typically go to. I think memoirs and nonfiction books can help with that. Specifically memoirs, because I feel like they're kind of similar-esque to fiction, where you're getting told a story and whatever. I mean, I guess you're getting told a story in a nonfiction too. Whatever, you don't care. But like memoirs, I really love like learning about other people's history and their lives. I think it's so interesting because it's not anywhere usually near what I have gone through. So it's just really cool to like see those types of things. And this one is fantastic. I think she is such a great author. Next book I have is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. We are following our two main characters who in college kind of got married. They got married for different reasons. I think one of them needed like financial aid and the other one needed health insurance or something. I don't really remember. After college, they get a divorce. A couple years later, a guy comes up to her and knocks on her knocks on her door. Hey, remember me? Like your husband? Yeah, technically we're still married and we technically never got a divorce. So I actually need you to come with me to my sister's wedding, and we can't get a divorce because if we get a divorce, I can't inherit my millions and millions of dollars from my family because I need to be married for a certain amount of time and I can't be divorced. So you down with that? Coming with me? Or our female main character, she's so down. She's like, you know what? Free vacation. let's go. His family is crazy, nuts, cuckoo crazy. She really has to kind of like help him out and kind of defend him, and she like eased the tension a lot. She's quite funny. With the toxicity of his family, but also the sweet little romance blooming, there's so much intrigue to keep going with our characters. Honestly, I would reread this year because it was so fun, and I kind of don't remember everything. If you need a summer book right now and you want a little cute little romance, you haven't read this one yet, the next book I have is The Storied Life of A.J. Vickery by Gabrielle Zevin. We're following this really grumpy man named A.J. Vickery who owns this bookstore, and one day someone has left their baby in his bookstore and has written a note being like, take care of her. And he's like, I guess you're my baby now, because what do? I guess I'll take care of you. He literally starts to take care of this baby and kind of how this child has kind of shaped his life. It's just really cute. It's very wholesome. If you like A Man Called Uwe, you'd probably really like this one. Oh man, I gotta pop my back. Ugh. I read this book so incredibly fast. I think I read it in one night, one sitting. It was amazing. Tore my heart out, put it back in, tore it right back out again, and stomped on the ground with it. I love this book so much. I don't think I was in a reading slump when I read this, but it was a very quick read for me. Like, I just wanted to know what happened because I loved the little family that they were creating. It's so cute. I love this book so much. Next we have The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a vampire fantasy. We're following our main character who is the daughter to the king, or one of the kings. I don't remember. I think it's the King of Night or King of Shadows. I don't remember. She is getting put in kind of like this Hunger Game-esque game where whoever wins this game will receive a wish from their goddess. They can wish for anything in there. Oh, I also forgot to mention, she's human. She's a human person in this vampire world. With the help of some unlikely allies, she kind of is progressing in these trials. I ate this book down when I read it first on Kindle Unlimited. It is a series, but the first two books follow the first two main characters, and then the other two books in the series so far revolve around some different people. I don't know what it was about this book, but I was like, yes, 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 I want to know what happens. I want to know. It kind of gives Powerless vibes a bit, Hunger Games vibes, any trial-esque kind of vibe. You're gonna get it with this. And it's just so fun. The first two books in the series, I like ate them up. They're so interesting, so fun, very fast paced. In my opinion, I thought they were fast paced, but I think that was because I just wanted to know what happened. Like, what's gonna happen? The last book I have to share is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is a cowboy romance series. I would say, honestly, I've only read the first two, but I would say probably the entire series is quite fast paced. They're very short books. Our female main character is a professional horseback rider. She is headed home for a while because she's kind of in a rut right now with her job. So she decides to go back home for a little bit, just kind of reset. Our MMC is her brother's best friend. Kind of reconnect again after a while, but obviously they can't be together because that is her brother's best friend. You can't have sex with my sister. Ugh. Like, that's the vibe, you know? I like these books. I think they're fun palate cleanser-esque books where they're pretty quick. They're very quick, like, okay, moving on, let's keep going. Keep holding my hand, keep holding my hand. Like I said, I haven't read the other two, but these first two I read, I would say are very fast. They're like just shy of 300 pages. They're nothing like super crazy, but I think they're cute if you need like a cowboy small town romance. Maybe you should like it. Maybe you can check it out. Those are all the books that I have to share with you. Comment down below. What are the books that got you out of a reading slump? These are some of the books I have. I'm sure there's more. That's really all I have for you today. Sorry about my voice. It's kind of slowly starting to go more out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one.